Good. Good morning, good morning. What's this? Lads and ladettes. I've never heard that one before. The Bicycle Patrol. The guys in the orange jackets. Bicycle Patrol. Not that they do anything with them when they find them, but... Good morning, gang. Hello, hello. Sunny morning, yes, sunny morning. Hi, Dave. Only 6 shopping days left. What are you talking about? There's no shopping days left here. That's trouble, actually, too, because people are still on the shopping cart, and we can't help them. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, tonight, oh boy, what have we got? Didn't get a chance. Yogurt, breakfast. Late this morning. These are invoices. They should not actually be here, I guess. It's going to be a packing day for me again today, too. This is fun. This is not part of show and tell. This is goods. It came in. We can just show it now, I guess. Why not? Just for fun. Just for fun. No, it's not the show and tell clue. We have a fun show and tell. And get your dictionaries out. Get your pencils, note pencils out. In fact, anybody who wants to have a head start on it, just for fun, if you want a head start on the stuff that's on the show and tell. Where's my copy paste here? If your kanji reading ability is a little bit better than mine, whatever, okay. No, what this was it's something that came up on Yahoo Auctions a few weeks ago, and it went round and round and round and round, and I did not really want it. It's not wood-bought prints. But then I noticed something about it that was just so much fun. It's a little set of cards. It's nothing to do with wood-bought prints, except that it's Hiroshige's Tokaido designs. And it's a full set. It's unopened, untouched. I really don't want to spoil it. It's from easily pre-war. It's the tourist stuff from the 1930s or so. It's commercially printed stuff. It is not wood-bought prints. They're just showing the pictures. And I wouldn't normally have picked it up. We've got enough real junk here without getting more junk that we don't need. But then I noticed one thing about it, and I just couldn't resist because it was just next to nothing anyway. What they had done was, they've got the cover here. And it says, any proofreaders? Red pencil? Any proofreaders in the house? I don't know how much delay there is on the stream here. Anyway, what it is, it's Japanese. Hiroshige Tokaido Goju Tsugi, the 53 stages of the Tokaido by Hirosahige. They spelled his name wrong. So I couldn't resist it, whatever. 1930s tourist stuff. Anyway, that's not today's show and tell. Today's show and tell is real wood-bought prints. Okay, what's on today? There's no carving on my bench this morning. We may get to some, but what I must do first, I've got 2 things to do. Ome is waiting for these. I have to do some chiritori on a group of prints, and I also have to do some embossing on a group of prints. What's it going to be first? Embossing. Let's do that first. These are December prints from 2 years ago to show. This is the December print from 2019, before the world came to an end. It's the, let's get it so you can see it. It's the view from just around the corner here. Where's the tank camera here? It's a John Kubota, check. So it's the view from just around the corner. Hoppidori, the final print in the Japan Journey series from 2019. These were done for us by Kubota-san, and again, just put my tape recording on. Just there to die for. Just put my tape recording on. Look at this. The consistency of the color, the gradation. The guy is a machine. He's an absolute printing machine. Top of the deck to back of the deck, they're exactly the same. He's 70 73, 74, and the experience just shows. So well made. I mean, the way the light, he's got the depth of the light in front and the back, and this all comes in by the printer. Jed gave us the hints. Jed gave us the, the starting hint, but we had to make it happen. The color blends there. You see some of the old prints we show, right? You saw it at the end of the stream last time with some of those Hagaki prints. The blue is too strong, the red's too weak, this is too strong. It's difficult to get them all to blend. Just your eyes do different things with a blue or a red or a green or a yellow. And even if we put them in at the same depth and rich tone physically, your eyes do different things. So you've got to always be looking and watching and looking and watching. Okay, you guys chat. Let me get started on this. Let me get started here. We have about 80 of these to do. Let me just check again. This is Chon-san the carver, Kubota-san the printer. This is going to go in the edge here. Normally I would start by doing a test on a couple of bad ones, but there are no bad ones in the block, in the deck here. That's too tight. We have to go back on top of this a little bit. Okay, let's get to it. So today's plan, there will be the embossing first, then I'll be picking up chiri from some of the prints, and then if there's time, we'll move on and do some carving. Let's check this and see. So of course this is the embossing on the print. And it's got Hori, carver, Chon, it's Chinese, I don't know how to pronounce it, we call him Chon-san, and Hori, Suri, printing, Kubota, Kenichi. And of course the name is on it too. Oh, I got a call out. This is interesting actually. Have a look, if I zoom in here close, the text that we use for the embossing on these, let me hold it still there. Anybody recognize the font? I got a call out on one of the YouTube videos. It would be 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, whatever, when we were showing, it was the video that shows the Summer Tea Fields print in this same series. Don't say this. And the guy said, Dave, I'm so disappointed. How do you dare use Comic Sans on your prints? And I didn't, and I wouldn't. This is not Comic Sans. It's a font called Technical, and it's a Control Freak font. It's used for architectural drawings. And it's exactly lined up and perfect, and it's not Comic Sans. And I guess the guy made the comment. It was a sort of okay comment. He tried to be polite when he was vividly frustrated inside. So I'm not calling him out, but it was fun to see. And I'm such a control freak. Whatever. So, but I was so disappointed that people would think it was Comic Sans. I don't care about that, But I wouldn't have used it for this. But so I jumped right back in there, made another comment, and I was polite. Actually, I'm sorry, you're in error there. This is the font known as Technical, and he never replied. So it's okay. There is a resemblance, I get it, I understand. There is a resemblance in the roundish shape of the lines. I get it. Each of the lines doesn't end square. Each of the lines of the strokes ends around, like Comic Sans. But where Comic Sans has that, the unevenness, everything is different. This one lines up perfectly. But I guess there are people out there who are thinking, oh, well, Dave just doesn't get it, It's okay. Actually, there is a bunch of Comic Sans on my website. Absolutely. We did a bunch of comics in the manga section on the woodblock.com website, and I used Comic Sans. It it is. It's an architect's font. That's what I said. It's for architect's drawings. That's the idea. It's called technical. It's for technical drawings, you know. And it looks, it just suited me. You know, I'm such a stupid control freak that, yeah, it suits me straight away, you know. I mean, I've been misusing fonts for a lot more years, you know. Back when it was lettre set, when I worked for the music store, I had to make the pamphlets and stuff for the music store. We sent them down to a print shop. We were in the second and third floor of the building, and downstairs on the first floor was an actual printing shop with you know, Gutenberg presses and stuff. And they printed our pamphlets and whatever. And I was the quote unquote designer. And you finish the stuff and take it downstairs, and they shoot it with their camera. There was no computer type. So I'd go to the stationery store and buy these lettre set packs, you know, the rub-off transfer lettering, you know. And I misused plenty of fonts in my time. I'm sure. I'd like to see some of that stuff now. I don't have any of it, of course. It's long gone. A pamphlet we made 50 years ago, you know. But I'm sure I misused plenty of fonts. What about the font, the Hasegawa? So Hasegawa, it's on the website. I don't track downloads actually, if a lot of people are using it, but it's on our website. I think if you go to mokohankan.com/font or /fonts, I'm not sure, you'll find information about it. mokohankan.com/font, maybe. I should put both in there, I guess, so that they redirect to each other. I didn't think about that. Somebody found it? Have I ever sent my old woodblock prints? Have I ever sent them? No, they're gone. They're gone. They got bought out. I know the owner offered it to me. I mean, not offered it to me. He was willing to sell it as he got a bit older and a bit run down by the place. He offered, and I didn't. I ran to Japan instead. But I could have been mine for a buyout. But I didn't take the offer. Came to Japan, and his son took over, and within a couple of years sold it. Sold the place out to a place in Canada called Long and McQuaid. They had been our competitors for many, many, many years. We were bitter competitors, actually. But they ate the whole place, so it's gone. From rags to rags in 2 generations. It started in Vancouver. We ended up all over the place. I ran the Toronto shop for 3 years, 2.5 years. It started in Vancouver, grew to a national company in Canada, and then shrank back down and got eaten up. It's a one-man company started by a really sharp guy with a great idea who did a really good job, built it up to a national company, and as soon as he's out, bang, down it went. When might we see the same story? I don't know. My God, we shook things up though. Boy, we shook things up. Do I ever go back to Canada? Well, not this year, obviously, but yeah, normally about once a year or so, see my family. In recent years, my dad passed away 3 years ago, but before that, we really, really enjoyed at least once a year. My parents, and me and my brother and sister get together for a week or so, hang out and do nothing. I went back last February. Haven't been back since then, of course. Can't do that now. So. Signs, they just glow, you know. He's just done such a good job, him and Jed. How's the 8 Views of Cats going? I've got Evening Bell. In fact, it says, I put on the website the radio buttons on the application form. Somebody had sent an email to me last week, a polite email. He said, Dave, I'm confused about the cats. I know Evening Snow is already published, but yet the radio button is still open for sending in submissions. So I thanked him for the comment, and I took down 3 of the radio buttons. So on the application form, you can see which ones are still open. And a night rain, and evening snow, and evening bell are now finished. They're off. For those who are just joining, what we're doing here, this is a woodblock print that's just been finished. The designing was done a year ago, the carving was done a while ago, and the printers have just made a new batch of them. And I'm doing the last stage, which is embossing the names of the craftsmen. The carver's name and printer's name go on, along with the title of the print. So this is the last stage. These prints will now go out this afternoon to our shipping center, and from there they go out to people all around the world who are waiting for them. So this is the final stage of a long process of printing. I had to get it through. It takes me about 15 more minutes here to do this, I think. This was the 12th print in last year's series, and the 12th print in this year's series has just been published, of course. In fact, I got an email this morning from Jed-san, and Jed just received it. He got the FedEx box, so inside the FedEx box was his own print. Of course, he gets these prints as well, free. So he just received the 12th print in the current set, and I got an email from him in all caps. All caps, if he had a strong viewpoint. He's happy with the print. He's happy with the print. The thing is about that one, though, I don't know if Jed-san's here. I don't think he's here. He's really, really busy these days, so I don't think he's here. But we changed it a lot from his design, actually. The design and drawing is the same, but we completely, what can I say, ignored his preferences on the colors. We tried, but couldn't quite make it work. So, but anyway, he's cool with it. So. Everything was right about this one. Everything clicked. The sizing was just perfect condition. You can see if I show you one of the other prints, the other one I'm going to do later on today. Here, look at this. Look at this. Here's a good bad. Here's a good bad. Good bad. I won't be doing this on a stream today, but whatever. The other print. This is another reprint from a different one of our printers. The sizing for this paper, I did it one day about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it turned out that I had the wrong balance of glue in the mix. I didn't know it because you just check the temperature and do what you think is okay. And because this one has a big, wide, open area, the sizing has got to be really, really soft and gentle. If it's too much neat glue, this is what you get. You can see from the back, it shows up more for the printer on the back. When there's too much glue in there, it forms little lumps and clumps down inside the paper, and the pigments don't go deep enough into the paper. It's okay on the front because she really struggled to get it good on the front. She had to make the paper really soft, but you can see on the back how much she struggled. This pattern where the paper absorbs pigment in some places and doesn't take it in other places. They call it, the printers here call it janko. Janko. It's like junk. I don't know what the word came from. And the one he's done here, you can see the difference. The pigment has really gone right through deep into the paper everywhere. There isn't that strong speckle pattern. So he would have been very happy with this, and as a result, he's got a really, really beautiful, rich smoothness. She struggled, and in places where the pigment's a bit lighter, you can see that janko pattern comes out onto the front. This is not a perfect print. It's okay because of the design. It's supposed to be a little bit like a Shinhanga print, a little bit modeled, whatever. But she must have struggled. And as soon as she started her first few prints, she must have cursed my name. Cursed my name. I'm the one that did the sizing on this, you know. She cursed my name. And either I had too much Nikawa in the mix, or the paper was too cold at the time when I started spreading it. The glue itself is nice and warm, but as soon as we start spreading across the paper, if the paper's too cold, then the glue congeals quickly instead of settling out smoothly all through the paper. This is why we used the hot carpet up there on the bench. But I didn't get it right for that one. There was a bit too much glue. The photography crowd was here yesterday. Yamada-san and Watanabe-san were here all day yesterday. They took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures from the collection. That's not true. They took hundreds and hundreds, whatever. And they really, really spent time on it. There was one of the ones, it's this thing I showed you on Show and Tell a few weeks ago, a book of Senshafta prints. And I thought it was nice. I showed it to you and everybody said it was nice, and I put it on the shelf and haven't really looked at it much. And yesterday we had it out page by page. It's to die for, and the pictures are so beautiful. She's going to start working on that now, so somewhere between now and year end that album will be coming online. And my God, it's beautiful. So, the faces, ne? So, we left off the faces. This is there's an old Peanuts cartoon. And this goes back, whatever, to when I was a little kid. It's an old Peanuts cartoon. And I don't even remember which character is what talking to which character. I have no idea. It's maybe Lucy talking to Linus. And Linus has been drawing pictures of stuff. He's been drawing pictures of people. And he's drawn one, and he's drawn another, and he's drawn another. And Lucy comes up to him, and she looks at all this stuff. It must have been a Sunday comic with lots, like 9 panels. And she says, you know, she's the deep psychologist, right? Lucy has this booth where she charges for psychiatric help and stuff, whatever. So this is her shtick. So she does an analysis of these little drawings by Linus. Her psychiatric analysis, I forget the exact words. I'm trying to remember something from decades ago. And she makes this analysis of the guy because he's never showing people's hands. None of the people's hands are visible. They're not holding anything. Their hands are in their pockets. Their hands are in their back. And she makes this deep analysis. And he sits there and looks at her. And then he says, actually, I don't know how to draw hands. And in this case, that's not far off exactly what's happening here. It's not that Jed doesn't know how to draw hands, but faces in traditional Japanese woodblock prints don't make it. You put 2 little eyes there and a mouth. It's not It's too small to be expressive. It's too grotesque to be expressive. And there's only one solution for faces in ukiyo-e prints. And I say one solution. They made a conceit. The eyes were going to be tut, 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 tut. The hook nose, that was going to be a nose. And everybody did the same thing. And everybody else believes that that was a face. But when you see an ukiyo-e print with a face, it doesn't look anything like a human being. But it was an accepted thing. It's the same with anime. Think about the anime, the girls' faces, right? With those, the eyes and nose that are not in any way a human being's face. But we all accept it. We've agreed to sign on and say, okay, I will teach my brain to accept that as a face. So when you come to a piece of wood to try and chop lines on it to make it look like a human face, you're up against that same problem. And when you're working at a 4mm scale, there's just nothing there. So you can make all your deep analysis you like. It's a nighttime view, it's bars, it's anonymous, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing. It's too hard to make an attractive face in a woodblock print. I'm not dunking on anime. I'm just pointing out that it's stylized, of course. I'm not dunking on anything. So, a lot of people have trouble with my work for this. I've been mucking around with ukiyo-e prints now for 50 years. So for me, those faces look normal. But we'll get a print. We're going to look at them today. Some of the prints in a show and tell. We'll get a print, and it's like someone who's never seen ukiyo-e before. Oh my God, that's grotesquely ugly. The nose is a hook. The eyes are so small. What's attractive about this? And seen in that light, there's nothing attractive about it. Yeah, the Picasso thing, I guess, and again, this is quite a bit out of my field, so I'm wandering in the minefield a little bit here, but I guess the same kind of thing. The guy sat down and didn't want to do the same thing everybody else has done, so he puts the nose on the wrong side of the face, blah, 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 and at first, everybody rebels. This is crazy. What are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. And then after enough repetition, and after enough thought, and after enough, whatever, drinking it in, it starts to look, I can't say normal, but it starts to look acceptable. So he was strong enough to power through a whole brand new way of seeing this stuff. So for us, clearly, actually, Jed and I did talk about that. Do we want to put a dot for a nose? Do we want to put a mouth? We did talk about this. We didn't try it. We just chatted about it. And he and I both agreed the same thing. It would be a distraction. It would just be a distraction. Whether this looks like the Twilight Zone or not, that's your own call. But we felt that putting a face, it's a bit different here, Nate. These people definitely do not need it. This guy, it does look, unarguably, it does look a bit funny. Why is this zombie walking down the street with no face, Nate? So I get it. To me, this is totally okay. This is totally okay. This is a little bit of a, maybe we could have found a better solution. So I'm with you on that part of it. We could perhaps have found a better solution. So we were just a year ahead of our time. That's right, of course. This was in December of 2019. And now there's no faces outside at all. So we were just ahead of our time. Getting through this. Thanks for your patience, you know. Got to chew through this. It's got to be done. I've got to ship these today. Today's Saturday morning. I ship them today. They arrive in Ome tomorrow. In fact, somebody will be there. We are still on rush, year-end rush. So one of the ladies is coming in on Sunday. She will pack these and get them ready, and out they go Monday morning at the post office. So there's lots of people waiting for these. And Cameron tells me what we've got. We've got a lot of people waiting for full sets, both for the Japan Journey set and now this year, because the 2019 set is finally finished. I mean, the 2020 set is now finally finished. There's a ton of people who've been waiting for it but didn't want to do it by subscription. They just wanted to get the whole set bang all at once. And they are now available because the December print is done. Those sets can be packed. So the ladies over in Ome are busy. And that will actually really help our December revenue as well. It's a really big boost for us, people taking full sets of these things. After I put it on the video last week, earlier in the week. Also, Soka, speaking about video, I don't know if I should talk about this or not. I got an email a few days ago. In the last, was it the last stream or the stream before last? We talked about the new YouTube policy where they are going to start running ads, or have already started, I'm not sure which is which. They're going to start running ads on everybody's channel, even people that aren't enrolled in their, what do they call it, the YPP, the YouTube Partner Program. I'm not in that program, we don't run ads, but it seems now that YouTube is going to start running ads on channels like mine. And according to the data that's come up so far, they're going to run the ads and they're not going to pay you. And if you're not in the partner program, that's tough, that's your problem. They are going to run ads anyway. This is all rolling out bit by bit. I think it may have already rolled out in America, and it's rolling out for the rest of the world sometime in the next year. There's no specific timetable. Anyway, long story short, I want to resist as long as possible. I don't want to run ads on the channel. People watch the YouTube videos and they buy prints. It's okay, it works for us. Anyway, it's good fun. But if they're going to run ads anyway, then the obvious sort of answer is, Dave, just give up. If every video on YouTube has ads, including yours, nobody's going to be angry at you about it. And then you should sign up and get the money. And I got an email from somebody, it was a couple of days ago, who is in YouTube. And he said, Dave, here's what you could expect for revenue from your channel. And he, whatever, compared to what he's getting from his channel and stuff like that. And his point was, and I remember the number he mentioned, he said at the kind of level of subscribers that you have and at the kind of views that you have, he said you could expect to get probably about $5 per 1,000 views. I have no idea if this is true or not. I don't know I haven't looked into this. I don't care. I haven't looked it up. I don't know anything about this. And he says you could get $5 per 1,000 views. Actually, I don't know if that's true, because a lot of the views are from the ASMR people who just go to sleep. They put the videos on and go to sleep. But if he's right, channel analytics, live at the moment, if I pull up that page, this is a Saturday. Full channel, last 48 hours, 63,000 views. So each day it's 30,000 a day, whatever. 30,000 a day. He says $5 for 1,000 views, and that's 30,000 every day. So that would be 5 times 30. If this is true, that would be $150 a day. And I sat there and looked at that email and thought, just don't do this to me, So for us, YouTube, it's two or three things all mixed together. We've never, ever thought about that as a revenue thing by itself. Of course, we understand that it's, what's the word, promotion. We understand, of course, putting stuff up there, people see it, they go to the website, they order prints. Or like last year, they came to see us because they like the content, want to look at the prints, want to see me. So because of that benefit, I've never even remotely thought about monetizing it. But the other thing, more important than that, is that people are actually like learning how to make prints from that. It's from the videos on our website. They're not all tutorials, but lots of people are learning lots of things about how it's done. And from my point of view, this is, what do you call it? I forget the expression, it's in English. It's a relatively new expression in the last few years. Pay it forward. Pay it forward. People helped me, lots of people helped me when I was getting started. There was almost no information out there. But people helped me. They showed me stuff, this and that. So it's incumbent on me to do the same thing. Whatever I know or whatever I've learned, put it out there, you know. There's other woodblock printmakers out there. They've got their DVDs for $50 and all this kind of stuff, and pay me and I will tell you what to do. There's one, the guy in Canada, on the west coast of Canada. He's got a DVD that he sells for about $50. And he's got a YouTube video promoting it, and he shows something. Hey, how do we do this? We do step 1, we do step 3, we do step 3. For step 4, please buy my DVD. And I'm like shouting at my screen, So I don't want to monetize that stuff. Then this guy sends me an email, $150 a day, Dave, you know. Wow. I guess ultimately, down the line, X number of years, YouTube is going to be a subscription thing. It won't be a free. It's like TV. When I was growing up, television was free completely, and of course, there was ads. We knew that. It wasn't evil. It was just, that was the deal. In order to have this wonderful service that we enjoyed, we watched the ads, and the people who were running the ads paid for the whole thing. So I guess at the end of the day, that's how YouTube is going to be perceived. You know, there's this thing, there's this content out there. And the other model, as opposed to the kind of TV that was when I was a kid, there was what you have, national broadcasters. They collect tax money from people, like Britain and Canada and Australia. They collect tax money and put out content with no ads. And then there's the cable TV model, where you pay a specific price. You know you're going to pay for this, and you know what content you're going to get. Where YouTube is going to end up in the middle of all those different options, I don't really know. It's kind of, at the moment, it's kind of all three at the same time together. Yeah, no, the comment here, people, if there was ads on there, they would watch, you know, whatever. People would just shrug their shoulders and say, shogunai, you know. This may, if YouTube is actually doing this, then I have no choice. YouTube is going to do this whether I like it or not, you know, so that's the case. That if YouTube does go ahead with this, starting next, whatever, April 1st, whatever date it is, all of a sudden my videos are full of ads. But I'm still not in the partner program, so they're not paying me. So am I then a hypocrite if I sign up for the partner program and start getting this money, even though I don't want ads? Half of me says, you're a hypocrite. You're taking money for this. And the other half says, look, they're doing it over my dead body, or my live body. They're doing this. So I don't know. Wow. No, this is confusing about the cloth here. This is not our normal cloth. For normal printing, we keep the baren on a pad here, and the pad has camellia oil. And that means it rubs smoothly over the back of the paper. That's not what's happening here today. This is not camellia oil, this is water. And if you notice, I'm putting the baren up here. I'm not putting the baren on top of it. If I put it there once by mistake, that was a mistake because of my muscle memory. This is water, the blue cloth. We're very slightly dampening the paper, just ever so slightly dampening it to help the embossing take a bite, have a good bite. And then as it dries out a few seconds later, it helps the embossing be just that much stronger and long-lasting. I don't need to do this. We could, without the moisten, I could still rub it like this, but this gives it just a nice little bit of a better bite. This should have been done by the printer. He put the title on. The title was done when the paper was moist as part of the printing process. But this guy, Kubota-san, he's an old dude. He's older than me. He says, my name doesn't belong on there. I'm the craftsman. Put the artist's name on. And he won't do it. But I'm like, hey, I'm paying you to make these prints. No. He's a nice guy. I don't want to make him sound like a bad man. He's a very, very nice man, doing a very good job for us. But he will not put his name on the prints. And I've even tried, Kubota-san, this means I myself have to do this, you know. He says, that's fine. You want it on there? You do it. I'm like, okay, whatever. How's our time? 8:42. Looks like we're going to use up the first half of the stream on this today. So, but as I said, I have no choice. This has to be done this morning. I'm sorry. Yeah, these old dudes set in their ways that won't allow newfangled stuff. Tell me about it. So. The polymer plates, we get them from a company that makes supplies for printing companies. Printing companies as in the people who are, running Heidelberg presses and stuff like that. In the old days, they were using katsuji, metal type. You pull bits of metal off, put them in a block, and you print on top of them. These are called polymer plates. I don't have one handy nearby to show you. We don't make them ourselves. We could carve this, but I mean, give me a break. There's a limit to how much is realistic to do here. It's about 0.5 millimeter high. Again, you just send the guy an EPS file, not a JPEG. We send an EPS file from Illustrator. And we pay by the square centimeter. So we just we rack up a bunch of them on the same sheet. They run it off and send it to us. It's really cheap. It's maybe whatever, $10 or something for an A4 size full of all these different things, which we then slice up and use ourselves. They don't last forever. They wear down. They're plastic, but they last for a long, long time. In English, polymer plates. In Japanese, jushiban. And every town has shops that will do this. Every town. Because commercial printers need this. They either do it in-house or they shop out to do it. In the old days here, of course, this would have been carved, each one. But I don't have any compunction about doing this mechanically. It saves us a ton of time. It looks much neater. And these things last much, much longer than wood blocks. Yeah, today I'm okay. This time of year, the sun is not there. The sun is too low. So I could have put the camera the other way today, but I'm just whatever variety. Also, at the moment I put the camera out there, the workers were unloading their truck again. And it's a little bit iffy when people are standing there working and you're sitting there putting up a video camera, pointing at their face and turning it on. They're going to look at you and they're like, what's going on? So today I just pointed it the other way. Half a dozen left here, then we're done. Thanks for your patience on this. Did I get breakfast? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't had any breakfast. My yogurt cup is sitting waiting for me. Why, is it noisy again? Get a crepe. That reminds me, get a crepe, get a crepe. Yesterday, after 2 or 3 months of total dark silence, 2 doors down, the people who renovated the old Emmy's bar and turned it into a crepe shop and then just closed the door and walked away, they're back, or somebody's back. Somebody was in there last night when I went out to buy my dinner. When I went out to buy my dinner and bring it back, I saw that, they're in there. And somebody, you can see from the light, there's a big round thing, I guess that's what they do the crepes on, and they were getting it warmed up and stuff. So maybe they're going to be up and running. Maybe. I was a bit cheesed off last night when I went out for dinner. I was trying to not be much of a grumble guy, but I got pissed off yesterday. I went out, there's a place, there's a Vietnamese cafe. About 15 minutes walk, just over, near Ginza Line Station. Really, really nice Vietnamese cafe. It's really, close inside. They got the windows closed. So many people in there, so I don't eat in there. I will one day when this Corona thing's over. But I do a takeout from them. I walk over there once a week or so. And they make a beautiful, beautiful, what do they call it? I can't pronounce Vietnamese. Banh mi. Banh mi, it looks like Bahnmi or something in transliterated. And it's like a Subway type sandwich, but done in Vietnamese, whatever, all they do. And I really, really, really enjoy it. And I hadn't been there for a couple of weeks. So I strolled over there in the cold, anticipating, I'm going to have one of those tonight. It's going to be so nice, so nice. I get up there, get in the elevator, go upstairs, go in the door. It's what's called kashikiri. Kashikiri. They've rented out the place. They're closed. The guy says, sorry, can't help you, can't help you. I'm like, what? Kashikiri, kashikiri. Rent it out. After 15, 20-minute walk in the cold over there, thinking about this taste, and the guy just says, go away. They rent out restaurants here. This is a thing. And whatever, grumble. Dave, grumble. It really hurts their regular clientele. Their regular clientele shows up on any given night. The sign on the door says, sorry, can't help you. We've rented it to a bunch of strangers who want to party. And I'm like, come on, do that on your day off. But it's a thing in Japan. And at this time of year, in December, it's really a thing because year-end parties. And they just rent the whole place without even thinking about it. Just put a sign on the door, sorry, closed. This year it's not so bad because lots of companies are not having year-end parties because we know why. But it's really a downer. I walked away. And I grabbed a kebab wrap from the Turkish place across the street. So, okay, 2 copies left here. We're done. We're running over 10 a day now. Over 10 a day, day in, day out, every day. Over 10 a day. Okay, we're done. Thanks for your patience on that boring work, but whatever. It had to be done. I gave the guy 90 sheets of paper. We cut what's called takenage paper. The particular size it is, it comes up that there's 18. It makes 18 of these across the surface of the paper. So I gave him 5 sheets. I sized 5 sheets of that, chopped it in half so we could post it So I send him 5 sheets of Takinaga, which gives us 90 prints, if it all goes well. He sent me back 89. That's the level this guy's working at. He would have used one for like a test and getting the corners worked out. 89 out of 90. And in case you're wondering about me, no, I would never get 89 out of 90. This guy is a total pro. Total pro. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to go for it, but whatever. He's actually officially retired. He used to work for Adachi. I just had it with them. Just had it with them. He said, the workshop, whatever, I shouldn't know. So he went freelance for a while and then retired. And he does 2 or 3 jobs for us every month. He just whatever, he's a machine. He's already put his name on the DOSA calendar. We have a DOSA calendar. The printers put their names on saying when they need the next paper. He's got his name on there twice. His name is on the DOSA calendar twice for the next job he wants, and he can already see beyond that to the job beyond that. He's up there on the 26th. He wants his next one ready. He's doing one now, of course. He's on the 26th. Because I'm busy now. DOSA, there's 2 printers want paper on the 22nd and 2 printers want paper on the 26th. So today's the 19th. I will be sizing again tomorrow. Whether I like it or not, I will be sizing again tomorrow. Okay, that's done. Now, what's next? I could go to the carving, or I can start doing this. This also has to go to Ome today. So let me do this. It might actually be a little bit interesting for you. Let's have a look. What we've got here, I don't do embossing on these. These are from what we call our Hunger Club series, the postcard prints that we make, most of them on blocks that I carved over many previous years. There'll be no embossing on these. They're simply too small. Embossing on this is disruptive. But what I have to do, and I also have to do it on the prints that I just embossed, I have to go through these and look for imperfections in the paper and in the printing. Because in prints that have such a wide open area, in fact, here we are. Now, are you going to be able to see this? I don't know. No, Hunger Club are not subscriptions. It's just our generic sort of brand name for prints of this size. We have a box that they go in, and I'm building up the library of them, and at some point we are going to see it. Oops. Come on, camera. You will focus. Thank you. Now what this is not a paper imperfection, this one. This is a pigment imperfection. She didn't grind it quite well enough. And there were some tiny bits of the blue pigment in there. So I've got to get in there and take these out, because this is really disruptive for somebody when they're looking at it. So let's do this. Excuse me. Surgeon at work. Let's try and find the spot so you can see what's going on here. There's going to be 3 or 4 different ways to take these off. Some are going to lift off from the top, and some are going to need surgery where we open a flap to bring it out. Let's have a look and see what we can find here today. WD-40 on the scope stand. I get your idea, but no, not on a desk where there's woodblock prints. No oils or liquids like that. Anything. We could lubricate that, and then next time I touch it, it's on my fingers, then it's on the prints. So sorry, I get the idea, and I understand where you're coming from, but no. But no. Is the Hunger Club series a subscription series? No, sorry, John. The Hunger Club is just our name, generic name for the postcard prints. Just a generic name. It's not even really a series. We're thinking for the future. where we would maybe do it as a, hang on a sec, let me find the, it's very poorly defined. It's just a name that we're keeping in reserve, really, for our prints that are come in a postcard size. I've seen part of the thread, but not part of the thread. Sorry, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. I've got only half the conversation here. I'm not anal about the spots. It's called quality. Would you send out, if you're Toyota, would you send out a car with a scratch on the door? No. Actually, I was wrong. This one is not a pigment. This is chitty. This is paper defect. I thought it was a blue spot. Here it comes. Although that could have been from sizing. It's on top of the paper. So when I did the sizing, right, done. Clear. This is paper. Tiny, tiny bit of chitty. It would be it wouldn't be noticeable if there was if it was anywhere else in the design, but not right in the middle of the sunset. Doesn't want to come out. Right. If we grind the pigment, absolutely. We start with what's it called? Powder pigments, and they're powders, but they're actually in chunks. So we smash up the chunks with a hammer first, bang it inside a bag, and then it goes grinding. And if we don't grind it enough, if they don't grind it enough, it's their job, then you get little, look, you can see that jungle. Hey, look at this. This is chitty. We do grinding two ways, and we've got a web page that shows how we do it. It's ground against a wooden. We get a block of wood, pour the pigment on top of it, and mull it with another block of wood. But we've started experimenting. Aoyama-san went out and bought. We should show this on one of the videos sometime. Aoyama-san went out and bought what do you call it? A grinding machine. It's a little thing with a cup. And it's got a magnetic, metal thing that you just drop it into the middle of the pigment mix. And underneath the box, there's an arm that goes round and around and around. We can't see it, it's going round and around. And the metal gets dragged by the arm through magnetic attraction. And this metal ball rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls through the pigment. And you just turn it on and come back tomorrow. And it's really cool. It's really, really, really cool. Magnetic stirrers. I don't know what they're for. Like, who would buy them? I don't know. But it's useful for us. Maybe people making pharmaceuticals or something like that, grinding medicines, or I don't know. But it works for us. This is dirt. Interesting. It's inside the paper. This is not hard. There it is. Look at that. It's a lump of dirt. It's going to crumble as I pick it up. Yeah, there we go. That one's on the back. Not so visible from the front, but if they put the print in a mat on a frame on a piece of white paper or something, that would have absolutely shown through. Look at this. We could not sell this to show. Look at this. The print looks nice. Ta-da! Nice print to show. But no. As I move around here, looks nice. Looks beautiful. Nice blue sky. There's your town view. Everything's really, really nice. But one blob of chitty right there. There's no way I want this to go out. So the argument, do I take it out from the back? It's right bang in the middle of the paper. Take it out from the back, or take it out from the front. This is surgery. We may lose this print. We may lose this. Let's give it a try. It's right in there. It's too close to the front to take out from the back. Oh, you want to some? They can't help it. They work as hard as they can. They're really doing a reasonable job, but it's kind of frustrating. And maybe Chiharu-san, when she was making this, actually she probably did. She probably thought, which way up, which way up. If she had taken a bit more care, she could have used this piece of paper the other way up. Oh no, it's halfway through. It might have been. She probably did test it. Either way, it's right in the middle there. Nah. So, open a flap. Take out the stuff. Anybody need brain surgery? Give me a call. Open the flap, take out the stuff. A tiny dab of the same paste that we use mixing with our pigment. And we saved it. Yay! And no one will ever know. I should be a forger. How do you know I'm not? Pretend you didn't hear that. You don't think like we make a living selling wood-bought prints, do you? This one will be rejected. This one will be rejected. She tried, she did a good job. She printed, but in here, there's a paper defect. See that? There was a clump of paper fibers in there. She couldn't see it because they're transparent. This is not on a black chitty. There was a clump of paper fibers. And she wouldn't have discovered this until she actually did the printing. You can see it even more on the back. So this one is going to get the famous cut corner. No go. It's also no good, too weak, way too weak. How's our time? We're okay? 9:05. 10 more. I might have a chance to finish this, and then we have our show and tell. We have a nice show and tell. Is this where cutting corners comes from? I wouldn't think so. I would think that comes from something like running a marathon, whatever, or you know, doing something. You come around the corner. It takes less time to come around the corner rather than go all the way. I don't know. The great waves, you know, there's another batch of great waves arriving in a couple of days. They're too late for Christmas, but they're another batch of waves, and I will have to spend a couple of days. There's so much empty sky on the great waves that, you know, we can't leave it, you know. Classic. Open the flap. Look at this. Open the flap. Pull out the chitty. Look at that. Close the flap. And if you ask me, if you show me this print again in 5 minutes, I would not be able to find where that came from. Totally invisible mending. Now again, I always got people say they would like the misprints, but no. Do we grind the metal powders? No, we don't do any of that stuff. We buy that. The commercial products that we buy are ground to different levels. When we buy the mica powder, we buy it as either Gogo, Sango, Nigo. It's just they're numbered: type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5. And it's different levels of coarseness. So when we go to the shop to buy the mica, it's already at the particular level. We keep 2 of the coarse levels on hand. If you have it ground too finely, it doesn't even work. It's such a dusty thing that it doesn't even stay on the print. Yeah, Vivid KP is talking about Iwano-san. Actually, he's getting better at that. You know, when I visited him last February, just before going over to Canada, it was on my list to bring up. Again, it wasn't chitty. There was a lot of dirt coming up in the paper. The chitty, I understand. They're trying to take as much of it out as they can. But I thought what they could really fight was the dirt, because there had been a lot of dirt in it. And when I got there, he proudly showed me that over the tub where they do the thing, they have now sealed off the ceiling there. It's these old beams where stuff just falls down. And they have put sheets of plastic up to tape that over so that whatever dust and dirt are up there is not falling into the vat where they make paper. And I'm like, he showed me this and grins. And I'm like, I'm too polite to say, yeah, you should have done this 50 years ago. Whatever. I say, yeah, thank you very much. So. Because to me that one was easily fixable, you know. What is our best-selling print of all time? There's 2. Our top 2 sellers are easy. One is the Great Wave. I'll give you the numbers if you like. We talked about this on the last stream, the numbers. Our Great Wave is number 1 in terms of volume numbers. Actually, these numbers are public. They're on the back of the website somewhere. I don't know, 293, 293, 293. The Great Wave at 1754, 1,754 copies have gone out of here, 1754. And the rickshaw cart is 1641. 1641. And some others, the small prints, the Plum Blossoms print, 851 copies of that have gone. The Crane at Sunrise, 906 copies. The owl, it's still too new. It's climbing, but it's still too new. Where's the owl in moonlight? Owl in moonlight, 738 copies. It's climbing, it'll catch up. And then the young girl, the onsen, it's still too new. Still too new. She's nowhere near it yet. But do I get tired of the Great Wave? Well, I don't do much with it. I'm not printing it these days at all. If I was printing it, yeah, I kind of think I might want to break and do something else. I enjoy the picture. It's a stunning thing, you know. It's a stunning thing, and we're so happy that people are enjoying it. No, when we sell this stuff now, remember, we get money for this, and we eat, and look at this, we've got money, and we can survive and pay our rent. That's part of it. But another part of what we do, you know, is that people are enjoying these things so much, and that's pleasure for us. We used to see it. They just walk out of the store so happy. I don't see it that anymore because it's online, but it's our pleasure too. Oh, look at this one. My God, almost every sheet here has one to show. It looks like dirt. I'm not quite sure. Again, this might be on top of the paper, and before I yell at other people, it might be me when I was sizing. Who knows? Let's see. Sticks on there. Come to see a Twitch stream about Japanese printmaking. All you see is surgery. Another one between the blue and yellow sky. Or it's just the one you're talking about. That is. Why are they all in the same place? Well, they're not, because the ones that are down here, of course, we don't even see. I'm not even noticing those. You know, I'm just noticing the ones that are out in that sky. Just some print designs are more susceptible to this than others, you know. I'll be doing this next week for a bunch of great waves, absolutely. Ah, here's one. This is the printer's fault. Absolutely the printer's fault. This is grinding, you see it? Excuse me. It's red. It's red. I may not be able to fix this. She's taking her own chance, you know. If this is not fixable, then she doesn't get paid for this one, because this is a printer's mistake, you know. The ones where the chitty and stuff is in the paper, that's not her concern, it's my concern. I sent her that paper, so her idea is, Dave sent me this paper, this is the paper he wants me to use, that's what I'm going to use. So when there's a chitty problem, it's not her problem, it's my problem. But if she has left the pigment not ground well enough, that is her call. And we're okay on this one, but if I hadn't been able to save that, corner cut, and that's her problem. Yeah, we're good to go. There's a brush hair there too. What's cool about this, there's no hostility about these things, just we all know what's involved, and we all know who's at fault, and who gets paid. They get paid very, very, very well for the work they do, so there's no hostility in any of that negotiation stuff, you know. Second one during the stream, 10 a day. We're running about 10 a day. Oh, time. Okay. Time. The group that's done and the group that's not done. Hi. Okay. S and T. What's that? That's the Sodai garbage truck. They're picking up. Look at that. Wow, what is that? Looks like they're picking up old restaurant gear. Interesting. No idea. It's not that somebody bought a grey wave print, it's somebody asked for their name to go on the mailing list, which now runs, it's in 4 figures, and the first number isn't a 1. I don't even know how to tell you about this. It's pointless. It's just pointless. About 10 a day. It's more some days. If we had them in stock, 10 a day, that's $150 times 10, that's $1,500 a day. I could retire. But they're just not there. They're not available. They're not available. So people put their name on the mailing list, and when we get a batch of 50 or 60 great waves is coming in next week. I will check them off, and Cameron then sends the first 60 people on the mailing list, he sends the note. We've got a copy waiting. Not all of them do. It's now a year or 2 years since they put their name on the list. So people say, no, I'm sorry, I don't want it anymore. I wanted it at the time, but not anymore. And we're not worried, because just simply, Cameron just keeps going down the list, down the list, down the list. I hate to say this because people putting their name on the list right now, I have no idea when we are going to be able to help you. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. These are handmade products, and there's just no way I can boost production. I just can't do it. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, goods. These are fun for me. Fun for me. I have no idea how much time it takes. No idea. These are fun for me. These came up, this is a normal internal Yahoo auction, came up last week. These went round once, and I didn't look carefully at what they were. I was thinking, yeah, whatever, I got that stuff already in our collection, we don't need any more. It went round twice, and the guy put up a different photograph of them. He had pictures of the prints, and then he also put up a photograph of the packaging. And at that point, Dave sits up and goes, woo, 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 woo. We really, really, really want to learn more about this. This, for me, is a gold mine. We'll talk about what it is. It's tesuri, on a hand-printed Yamato. That says to. I wouldn't have known it, but I've learned it by getting these prints. It's Yamato Hanga Shu. Yamato means Japan. Hanga Shu is collection. And this is package number 6. We've got the same thing, package number 4. And we have package number, that's package number 1 or package number 2. Very old-fashioned kanji. I can't remember. I never remember which one it is. This is really, really, really rare. This is not the Yamato Nishikie by Hashiguchi Goyo. This is something else. This is a publisher selling subscription prints. And this is happening when we've got labels on the back. And when I saw this label, I am just jumping up and down, yabba dabba do. Documentation, how the subscription set works, and what the prices are. Ishikawa-san, hello, good morning, good morning. Oh, it's okay, I could have asked her to help. It's okay, whatever. It's a price list. It's a price list, a price list, a price list. I put it in, I've scanned these, I've put them on the net. If you want to look at them close up. Where are we here? There's 2 of them, 2 different labels that are on these packages, and they have the prices. So the date is this. It's Taisho 13, the 4th month, and the 10th day, when the first edition was done. And then we have it, the next one is interesting. It says the 13th year, the 4th month, and the 20th day. And it says, it clearly says here, every month on the 20th day, hakko. We send them out on the 20th day of the month. So this is how their subscription, I should show you the prints, damn it, or whatever. You've got the label there. Let's have a look at what some of the prints are. They come in packages of 3. It said clearly on the label, it said, every time you get a package of 3. We'll talk about the prices in a minute. And what you get is you get this folder, and you get 3 prints inside it. 1, 2, 3. Now in this case, the 3 are a triptych. They're actually the same design. I got to be really careful because this stuff is fragile. It's an Uttamaro triptych, and they've been reduced in size to what's called chuban size. And these are, of course, they're hand-printed, hand-carved wood block prints. They are not the most fabulous quality. I looked at these last night. Let me look at this one here. They are not the most fabulous quality. They are good, but these are not AAA wood buy again. They're okay. They're mounted on terrible paper, and I'm going to have to decide what to do. They're really, really heavily glued down. I can get them off with water, but that would mean destroying the backing sheet, and I'm really of two minds about this. The print would survive being washed, but the backing paper would not. But I want to preserve this because it's a really important documentation about how these prints were sold. It's not the highest quality paper. This is a medium grade Taisho era woodblock print. They're in good shape. There's no foxing. And a really interesting part about this is the documentation on top of this is in Japanese and, as you can see, in English. Well, this is 1920. I don't know what this is. Somebody's already got it, right? John's already typed it in. 1924. This is 1924, and it's in English and in French. English and French. And the price list, I made myself some notes. That label that I just showed you, the price list says, there's part of it's readable. I had the call for help last night. I read what I could read, then I asked Sadako for help because some of these kanji are very, very, very difficult. The point being, section 1, they come here, each sanmai ichi kumi. Each package has 3 prints in it. And the basic price is 1.5 yen. It's 1 yen, 50 sen for a package of 3 prints. If you want to do it by where am I? Just a minute. Let me get this correct. 1.5 for each one. If you're doing it as a subscriber, if you were a kai-in, if you become a group member, then it's only 1 yen. So it's like when you buy a magazine or when you subscribe to magazines, it's a different price, of course. When you're subscribing, it's much cheaper. But then I've never seen this. It says kaigai, overseas. Overseas, it's 2 yen to buy each one. And if you want to be a subscriber, it is 1.5 yen. They're aiming at overseas people. And the expression they use, and I cannot read this, this is old-fashioned. It refers to Manchukuo, the area of northern China, and then it refers also to the island of Formosa, both of which at this time were part of Japan. So for their overseas customers in China and Formosa, the price was 2 yen for each package and 1.5 yen for subscribers. And they put English and French on the front of this. And this is 1924. 1924. Now, I can't give you the number. We chatted about this a little bit in the stream the other day. We had another price that was listed in Japanese yen. It was 4 sen. So I don't know how much this is worth. And if you look up half a dozen websites, you get half a dozen different answers to this. These just came in the other day. I haven't had time to look yet about that yen thing. But I'm going to try and find, it's not a question of what it was worth in dollars. It's a question of, in 1924, what would 1 yen buy in Japan? Like if you've got a mortgage and it's 1 yen per month or something like this. I don't know what it is. That's a set of 3. The next one, group number 4, is a set of 3, but they are not a triptych. They're individual prints. Vivid, 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 rich colors. And what I paid for these on the auction the other day, I paid 1,500 yen each print. That was a standard price. He put these up on an auction as individual prints. He took them out of the packages and put them up on 9 separate auctions here. Yeah, zoom in. And we're in. We're zooming in and zooming out. And this is nicely done, actually. This is much more nicely done than the previous one. This is sharply and cleanly carved, cleanly printed. I've used semi-opaque pigments here. This is partially opaque, but my God, smooth colors. You saw what we were just trying to do a few minutes ago, right, with the jungle. Look at this. It's deeply embedded in the paper. The paper is so thick that we get almost nothing coming through to the back. Deep, thick, rich Taisho paper. They slathered on the pigment, powered in from the Baron. There's vivid Baron marks on the back. Can you see if I get the right angle here? It's scratched like crazy on the back because they powered down so much with the Baron. They needed to with this thick paper. And as a result, you get this deep, deep, rich saturation. It's a Chinese, I know, it's a parable from China. It's an old Chinese story. People in Japan of this era, they were literate and they understood Chinese poetry. And this is related to an old a Chinese poem. I don't remember the detail. It's a classic. It's a classic. This is something. This is funny too. Let me show you my art. Come upstairs. Let me show you my pictures of women cleaning their feet. Okay. One lady trimming her toenails and one person washing her feet. I guess, whatever. A summertime scene. It's not exactly what I would think of to make art from, but there it is. It's Tori Kiyohiro, one of the lesser known people in the Kyo, Tori clan. These were guys who normally did actor prints, but this is unusual for them. We're talking about faces, Nay. Earlier in the stream we were talking about faces. Nobody would ever think this is a normal human face, but once you're used to it, you're used to it. And the fabric's the line, just the line, you know. And again, there's a poem involved, so this is probably, and I don't know the background to this, this is probably an allusion to a specific piece of classical poetry. And I don't know the reference, I'm sorry. This is Toyokuni, generations later than the previous picture. So people who subscribed, they got 3 of these prints in each package, once each month. And as the months roll by, you get your collection of ukiyo-e. And the publishers had put a little bit of a note on the front, explaining this is such and such a poem, this is such and such a person. So you learn, month by month, you learn about ukiyo-e prints, and you get your copies. It's a public bath, of course. These ladies are coming out of the bath. Coming out or going in, whatever. Then the third group, I am really, really frustrated here. The third group, I've got to be careful not to get into my grumbling mode again. The third group is another triptych. This is another triptych, but unfortunately we only have 2. And it is an extremely rare design. It's an Uttamaro sideways triptych, which actually I have never in my life seen before in ukiyo-e printing. We have 1, the second one fits to the right of it, and there's a third one that fits to the left. He only had these 2 on an auction, so fine, I bid on him and win him, bid on him and win him, and then I write to the guy. Now that because I've won the auction, I know who he is, I write to him and say, where's the third one? Where's the third one? He says, oh, I sold it last week on an auction, didn't you see it? He sends me a link. And he put up these prints separately, and I didn't catch it. There's a limit to how much I can see, and somebody bought just one of them 2 weeks ago on this auction for 1,500 yen. I've got the rest of them, and I'm like, please, tell me who this is so I can write to this guy. Privacy, no way, not permitted. So frustrating. A unique image that I've never seen before. I've now got 2 pieces of the 3, and somebody else has one of them, and there's no way. They've been in a drawer somewhere since 1924. They've sat in a drawer since 1924, tucked away together, never looked at, never opened, and now they're finally opened, and we get a chance to put these in the collection and show the rest of the world, and he won't tell me the guy's name. These are the divers, of course. She's under the water, and with her spatula thing, picking up shellfish. She's what's the word? Scraping it off the rocks. So I don't even know the guy's Yahoo handle, because those are obscured. Whenever you see somebody's bid on an auction other than your own, your handle name, your user ID is hidden. It's hidden. They don't show anybody's usernames. Good, rich saturation. It's a bit too much. They've printed the black, to my taste, a little bit too heavily. Again, can you see, if I put this light on, can you see the striations on the back? Try to get the angle right here without bending this paper. Look, here, the burn marks. They've used so much power, bang, 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 because the paper is so thick. So thick. This is nice printing. It's a bit heavy-handed for my taste. The black lines, if we zoom in this girl, they've printed the black too heavily, but this was the Taisho. This is the style of the Taisho era. They really did print the black too black for my taste. This would be much more attractive if the black was a bit lighter. But anyway, it's vivid. It's vivid and it's well done. Nicely done. But I've got 2 out of 3. I think what I might do is I'll write to the guy again, and even though he won't tell me who the other guy is, I think if I just tell him, look, give my phone number, give my email address to the other guy, please, and I'll make him an offer he can't refuse, or something like this, whatever. He may then roll me over a table, I don't know, we'll see, but at least I get a chance. Oh, you're suggesting, so send Dave's contact information to that buyer. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah. And yeah, we have, this is dust. This is, what is this? Let's have a look. That's crap. That's just dirt. A lot of this is just age-related dirt here. I can get this one off right now. That's just dust on top of the paper. What's this one? This dirt is dirt. These are old prints, and there's just dirt on them. My guess is that there won't be much chitty here, because back in this day, they were pretty good at keeping chitty. Again, this is dirt. Somebody has been really careless with this one. Yeah, this is dust. I'm not going to muck with it too much here. So, we're not seeing much chitty here, but we are seeing prints that have been, they've been around. It's 100 years old in not so clean houses. Question. The black comes from Sumi. This is carbon black. It's, they used to make it in the old days. They burned candles, collected the soot, mixed it with glue, and it became the black for printing woodblock prints. So there we have it. I'll keep in touch. If I do manage to get the 3rd one of these, then here we go. We'll let you know. But I'm really excited about the subscription prints. You know, I thought I had changed the world. Dave can sell woodblock prints by subscription. A great way to make a living. Here we are 100 years ago, and they had it worked out. So, okay, I'm off. It's Saturday. I'll see you a couple of days from now on Monday. I'm struggling with masks. The masks. There's different sizes. There's big size. You saw when Ishikawa-san was here the other day, I had got a mask that was too small. It doesn't even cover my chin. It's too tight. It's pinching my ears. It doesn't do anything. I'm half open at the bottom. I got a package from Amazon yesterday, special large size masks. It's useless. You put this thing on. And it's big all right, but it's open. I could pour soup in here. I could eat. There's nothing. The air is just flowing in and flowing out. It's too big. I need something in between. The search goes on. The problem, of course, is this. So, whatever. Anyway, there we have it. Okay, then. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much. I'll see you 2 days from now on Monday morning. It will be almost certainly a carving stream. I'm not sure what we'll have for show and tell. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.